I thank the Honourable Assistant Minister and I call the Honourable Member for Fairfax.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Integrity is an important quality at the heart of public service. Anyone seeking office realises it's not about him. It's service for all of us. Members must repress personal interests to put people's interests first. When on the 30th of May 2008, Bruce McIver, former President of the National Party and the LNP, and Gary Spence, the former President of the Liberal Party and current President of the LNP, signed a memorandum allowing the Liberal Party and the National Party to merge as the LNP, they suppressed their own political ambitions for the benefit of their members. 85% of the membership of the Liberals voted for the merger and 95% of the Nationals voted for the merger. But then there was Johnny-come-lately, the member for Fisher. He arrived, promoted by Victorian Liberals, to knife the Liberal Party President Gary Spence in the back. The member for Fisher was now the President of the Liberal Party. Was this a man who would suppress his political ambition for the benefit of the people he served? For the greater good of both the Liberal and National Party members? Or was this the member for Fisher, more interested in power at any price and at any cost? Would he stand in the way of what the membership wanted for his own selfish gains? In the days before the vote, the member of Fisher visited me, demanding the presidency of the LNP, demanding he could not, and demanding I tell Bruce McIver he could not be the president. Only the member of Fisher could be the president of the LNP. The member of Fisher said if he wasn't the president, the merger would not go ahead, regardless of the views of the membership of the Liberal Party and the National Party. 6 times in the 2 weeks leading up to that vote, he visited me 6 times, and he made public announcements that Bruce McIver couldn't stand as the president of the LNP, and he never wanted to at all. He thought we should have a new president. And we met on separate occasions, and then together. The vote was supposed to be held where members of each party would meet on a Saturday, decide they wanted to merge, and then they would meet together and merge as one party. The member for Fisher challenged McIver publicly to confirm he would not stand and that I would only support the member of Fisher to be the president of the LNP. Bruce McIver remained silent, prepared to step aside for the benefit of the membership if required. Now that's real integrity that the member for Fisher hasn't got. Leading up to the vote, the member for Fisher delivered an ultimatum to me 2 days before the vote. If Bruce McIver did not declare he would not stand for president of the merger, the merger was off.
For Fairfax, the Assistant Minister for Defence.
Just a point of order. Against the standing orders, the member for Fairfax is impugning the motives of another member.
I'll call the member for Fairfax, and if he can be very careful where he points his comments and make sure that he doesn't reflect too much on the member for Fairfax.
Well, Mr Speaker, the member for Fisher told me that he would call a meeting of the Liberal Party executive on the Thursday night and bring up the President of the Liberal Party of Australia, Alan Stockdale, from Victoria, Stockdale, who would attend and kill the merger if I didn't guarantee he could be President of the LNP. And a motion was passed at the state executive meeting on the Thursday not to allow Liberal members to attend the meeting on the Saturday and vote. You know, on the Friday night I funded a challenge in the Supreme Court of Queensland to overturn the motion of the member for Fisher, and the Supreme Court of Queensland ordered that the meeting would go ahead in spite of any opposition from the Liberal Party. Members of the National Party and the Liberal Party would be free to vote in our democracy, free to have their say. I can still hear the boos the member of Fisher received that Saturday on a crisp morning when he arrived very, very red-faced after the Supreme Court said he had to come to the meeting. I nominated Bruce McIver for the presidency of the LNP and he was elected on acclamation. The member of the Fisher, with the tail between his legs, got out of town. He went down to Victoria with Alan Stockdale. He was promised he would be the member for Higgins, but it never happened. He returned to Queensland to eat humble pie. The member for Fisher should be the Prime Minister. He said, "You ask him, he'd tell you at the time." Despite, when he did the things that he did, now subject to a police investigation, the member of Fisher was very desperate. and he should step aside as a minister while this investigation is on. Integrity in this
Order. The
House and
member's
this
time
government
has
should be
expired.
maintained.
I call the honourable member for Banks.
Thank you,